Hi crafters, it's time to show you another one of my favourite sets from the incoming mini catalogue, and that would have to be a set called Christmas Scotties. And, you know, I said gnomes were my favourite, but dogs have always been my favourite everything. I have dog everything. So when I saw Christmas Scotties, I had nearly fallen over with the gnomes. No, I don't think I'd gotten to the gnomes yet, but the Scottie dogs were like, oh, I have to have these. So those were my two must-haves. So you can see here that we've got three little Scotties, and they've got bows and presents and snowflakes and tartan and a ribbon. Sentiments: you are always loved. Woof. Merry Christmas. May your days be furry and bright. And have a look. Here's the secret code. It's got a white outline, which means something coordinates with it. And if you look down here, you can see it's a punch. So that's on page 34 of the mini catalogue. And here it is here in the flesh. How exciting. And tonight I want to do a quick card and tag with you. So we're going to use this set to make a matching tag and card. As I said, I have already put the tartan and Scottie on 2 blocks ready to go. I have got my real red and my black ink on hand, and I've also got basic white, basic black and real red card as well. Now when I had cut all this ready for my card, I remembered that I have got some of this new Lights Aglow paper. Oh, look at that. So I've got some of that here too. I'm not sure if I'll use it, but I mean, oh, guys, you have to see this thing. Wow. Like, yum. So I've got that here in case I feel inspired to use that maybe instead of this black piece. All right, so I've got my tag and I've got my card. I'm going to do one at a time. Now, if I was stamping at home, I would do, you know how I like to batch them. So I would do all my dogs together, all my tartans together. But I'm going to do them one at a time so as not to confuse anybody. So I've got my tag. Now, I cut this out before I came on video using this large tag from Tailor Made Tags, which is in the main annual catalogue. And I'm going to stamp on my tartan using the real red. Now, I haven't actually stamped this stamp out before, so we're going to just stamp it onto my worksheet just to see what it looks like. It's a bit hard to tell because I've got the grid paper underneath, but I think it looks all right. So I'm going to stamp onto it, and I'm actually going to stamp it so we can see the edge like it's a bit of a rug. Okay, there we go. We're not going to worry about this because I'm sticking a Scottie dog on top. So we're not even going to see it. This is a stress-free zone, remember? We're here for a good time, not a hard time. So I'll just... Now you can see that's now discoloured. That's normal. That's just the red inks. You'll find that with many of the red inks. That leaves behind a little residue. It does not affect the stamp at all. All right. Now onto a scrap piece of card. I'm going to stamp my puppy dogs. All right. Now I'm just looking at him to make sure he hasn't got any little patchy patches. But if he does stamp out, he's got patches. These guys are really easy to fix. Just use a black pen. Okay. All right. We're going to stamp him down nice and firmly. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. All right. We're going to punch him out. So we're just lining him up so he's got a nice even border around him. Let's see, does that look pretty good? You can fix up any little bits you're not happy with a pair of scissors. All right. Ta-da! There's our Scottie dog. Now you can see it punched out the bow at the same time. That's fine. You can either leave it or let's try and line it up with a little something. What there? So the matching stamp is this one. Well, let's see if we're happy with that. If we're not, we'll stamp it and punch it again. It's all good. That looks pretty good. Okay. If you're not happy, you can cut around it, stamp it again. It's just paper. We're not going to stress about it. All right. So we're going to use a little bit of glue to put the bow on the dog's neck. You know, a little bit of bling at this point if you want to. And then I'm going to, now let's see. Are we doing this way or this way? I think I like him this way. All right. So actually, before I stick that down, I'm going to put a little word on the top. Now my dimensionals for this guy. Okay. Now I'm just closing that up so I don't mess it up. Now I'm just looking at my ribbons. I don't think I've got any real red left, but what I do have, is I have got some tartan ribbon from my stash, which is not Stampin' Up. It's from my stash, but it's okay to use things from your stash when you don't have something ready on hand. No, you know what? The bow's too hard. So we're going to leave that. I'm going to trim that down. And there's the tag done. Okay. If I will need to tie it to a gift, I'll probably add some gold ribbon, but a gold cord. But otherwise that can be taped straight to a present. All right, let's get started. Oh, I just threw my dimensionals onto my black ink. Oh, so silly. All right, let's get started. So first of all, we've got our real red base card. Okay. Now this is how this is going to go. These two on the front, and then another piece of the white on the inside, as always, which is here. All right, once we've folded the real red card in half, we can see that I've got the black front, the black matte, the white piece here on the front, and a white piece on the inside, as well as the envelope. I'm also going to reuse this piece here to do my stamping and punching. So I want to make the card match my tag because, you know, cute. I'm going to stamp the tartan onto the base card, same as I did on the tag. Okay. And just a little bit up top here. Okay. Oh dear. I'm going to close that right up because I'm getting inky fingers. Okay. Oops. Red and black are the most difficult to work with. They're just everywhere. All right. Scottie dog in the black. I'm just checking, same as before, to make sure there's no splotches. Okay. I'm going to punch him out. Where are my dimensionals? Yeah. So here he is on the tartan. Okay. I am next going to stamp on the inside of my card. Oh, I'm getting black ink everywhere. All right. So there's my inside card and my envelope. Okay. So my envelope is done. You know, I like to keep that quite simple. My inside card probably just needs a sentiment, and my front needs to be finished. Okay. So going back to the cards, the stamps, I'm going to go with May Your Days Be Furry and Bright. And I'm actually going to put that on the inside of the card. And I might stamp that in red. Okay. Just put it to the side. All right. So the inside's probably done. I like to complete those one layer, so I won't probably put a bow on that one. This guy could probably have a bow, which I put here. Okay, and that's in the garden green. Okay. There we go. Now, I did. Look, my sentiment strip. Have you ever met such a messy crafter as me? Honestly. This one is going to have Merry Christmas on it in green. Okay. Now I've got another punch here to use. This one has got the two tag ends on it, which is just a really fun way to, and so easy, look at that, to get your ends in place. And it's got both ends of the arrow too, which is helpful. All right, sliding it down. All right. So this one's probably going to go on the 3D tape up a little bit. But first, I'm going to stick my black. I just want to visualize it to see whether I need to add any of that tartan ribbon. Alright, so there's the black. I have opted to go for the straight black rather than the foiled black. And I decided that because I'm making such a feature of the white piece, I didn't want to cover up all that beautiful gold glimmer. So I haven't replaced the black strip. Alright, now I haven't pressed that end down. I just want to see. You know what? I might. So I'm going to cut a piece here. Okay. Here's my trick to do this. I'm going to tie my knot first. Okay, there's my knot. I'm going to make sure I'm really happy with it. Okay, neaten up those edges that might have gotten a little bit frayed during the tie. Now what I'm going to do is position it where I want it to go. And I think I want it to be not quite center, but maybe up a bit. So I'm going to imagine that it's around my card. And I'm going to, it probably could just slip around it. I've cut it that long. But if I cut it shorter, or too long even, I would just visualize where I want it to go. Actually, the bow seems to fall better that way, doesn't it? So I'm going to cut it somewhere in the middle, and that way I can then position it. But if it had been too short, I could have worked out, oh, I need to cut it just up here. I need to cut it towards the bottom. But this piece doesn't matter. I've cut it long enough. So we'll just lift this up. And position it around the card. Okay, I like to cut off the excess. I don't like too much bulk under my layers. All right, I need to replace that tape because it's now holding down the ribbon. Okay. All right. That now also covers up that little bit that didn't ink as nicely as it could have. So, you know, little things like that are not a reason to throw anything out. It's just a reason to put something over the top. All right, so I've used 3D tape now for my sentiment. And I'm going to just pop that over the top. Now you can see that the ribbon, because it's not stuck to the bottom, is going to pull up. That's okay. I'm going to poke another piece of tape under there. And if it doesn't hold, I'll add glue later. Or a glue dot or something. Okay. The inside of the card, of course, is going to have the inside here. Okay, and I always leave that fairly plain so that there's lots of space to write messages. The envelope and the matching tag. Bye.